Support for this podcast comes from the patrons at patreon.com/FMLFPL. Oh, hey! Welcome to FML Malone.
This Walsh.
Oh, we're here. Another daytime pod.
Yeah, the dust is still dusty at my house, so I'm an office daytime pod today.
Yeah,
You look like
Hamburger
someone.
said, "What's Dustgate?"
Oh yeah,
Not following along.
he's not keeping track of the team. Yeah, I've got some construction work going on at the house, so my normal pod area is complete disaster zone. So
Yeah.
they're supposed to be done Wednesday. They probably won't be done Wednesday. They allege to be done on Wednesday. It'll probably be like by Friday, I'd guess, but hopefully we'll be back for next week.
Let's go.
Back for
Over Dustgate. What's been going on Discord before we start potting? I mean, I saw a lot of the WOSO channels been really buzzing. Women's soccer, there must be a final or a tournament soon, but mostly it's just fests and just feel like everyone's just scrambling with like how many hits are good, how many hits are bad.
Yeah, I mean,
What do I do with Holland? Why did I take a minus 12?
yeah, I mean, you're exposing me with channels that I have muted and have never opened with that, but I'll take your word for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I've ever seen as much activity as in the last month as I did between like 5 and 5:29 a.m. on Saturday.
The leak
It was
bananas.
It sent everyone. I just can't believe how many people fell into the trap. It's just the most enormous Norwegian trap sized hole I've ever seen in my life, and I'm happy. I'm happy about it. Meanwhile, I fucking 5-headed my life away by doing Marm out the day before, like an absolute god, and the leak fucked me.
Yeah, the league fucked you. You would have been ahead of the curve. You got that plus. Actually, Wissa and Marm got the same points, right?
Well, we don't have to talk about that part.
I was going, it would have been +1, but you would have felt better. You would have felt.
I would have felt like a genius.
Yeah.
That's all I can comment on from this matter, though.
That's good. We can move on from there.
You look like someone who just bench boosted.
I bench boosted in a fucking haul.
You boosted your life away.
I know. I feel like I deserve a bigger green than what I got because my bench boost went so well. But then you look at the non-bench part of my team, and it didn't go that well.
No, didn't go well. Nothing.
So I finished on 66, but I took a hit, so 62. Cap Boomo was fine, whatever. Yeah, I mean, Cells I brought in for home Leicester, 2-pointer. Sessignon and Milenkovic are just 0 or 1-pointers every week now. Sessignon just plays left back now. He doesn't play a right winger anymore. He's just Anthony Robinson without the crossing. Yeah, pretty much everyone blanked. I mean, I got a Sar assist, Boomo assist, Wood goal, fucking nothing else. Gvard clean doesn't even count. Cunha brought him in.
It counts.
Arm, 0-pointer. Yeah, it counts for something. But then my bench is just fucking Pope, Chada, Coyote, and Hudson, massive haul. And even if you pointed this out to me, I wasn't trying to scam, but I brought in Chada. If you put him in my lineup, it's still a great bench boost. There's Sar on the bench. It still would have been a huge haul. So,
yeah, 11, 18, 19 you got.
Yeah, I mean, it's fucking one of my best ever bench boosts, probably.
Yeah.
So you're going up like almost 200K, I think. Yeah. I mean, Coyote worth
the wait.
Worth the wait. Gameweek 36, famously the best bench boost week. Coyote Ugly got he was on 2 bones, and then I noticed earlier today that those got diddled away to no bones. Yeah, well, he finished on 5 instead of 7.
Yeah, I mean, you know how they're out there diddling.
I also think it's my first week owning Cunha.
Yeah.
And he obviously had to get me 0 points.
I mean, like good.
Everyone else averages like 8 points per game when he's in their team, and I am on a fucking 0. Started the game, got 0 points.
Yep.
Arguably deserved a red card too. So, like what can be done there?
He's just a psycho.
The red card waiting to happen.
Yeah,
he really is.
4, we'll get it again. He's just absolutely insane on the pitch. You never know what he's into.
Whoever buys him will go straight to the team sports therapist, and that's where he will begin his career at insert club. Yeah, you need to calm down.
Yeah, he's gonna live with whoever that person is.
Yeah, exactly. So here's Team Walsh. Ollie, dude, huge.
Yeah, Ollie came in. I mean,
You got a bunch of returns.
hitting out Munoz, not my finest moment. Very upset by that. I thought after on Saturday, I'm like, oh my God, I brought in Ruben 9. Like, there's no way this is going to go badly. And then Daniel Munoz just
Narrator, it went
shakes his head. Like, how could you, one of my biggest stands in the world, sell me before I play this dog shit team with some goalkeeper named Kinky? Like, yeah, I fucked it. I fucked it up.
That could have been a 5-0. That was such one of the biggest jokes of a game of the week. Like,
it was such a
ridiculous.
Yeah. It was such a non-competitive game. I mean, I think they have one shot or something. They had one shot on target.
I don't remember any chances that were like real.
Yeah,
they just felt stupid.
We could have scored any number of goals, and the VAR for the little shoulder was kind of a little silly business. That would have been another SAR return.
Yep.
But yeah, my guys, the Ollie points were nice.
Ollie and Bowen.
Yeah, Bowen continues to return every week and not get bonus points somehow, but we move. I captained Wissa for science. I -5'd on that bad scientific experiment. One awry.
He got a lot of chances, but Brentford were just weird and bad, and I don't know what they were up to.
Yeah, very bizarre game there.
Yeah.
Hans has been fucking 2 for 2 since I got.
Yeah, I know. I shit on them, I think rightfully all season, but in the last month-ish, they really cleaned it up. They've gotten a lot of cleans since game week 28, and they had basically none since then. Yeah, you have.
Yeah. Even in there, well, they also had a lot of. They have a good defensive record in Fuckle the whole time as well.
Yeah, they have.
So if you stack those in, it's like, they've had a long run of good defensive performances. So yeah. So we roll along here, plod along. Two more games, 10 game weeks to go.
And good segue by you, because the May mug leaders with 2 game weeks left for the final mug of the season. Tie for first place between James Powell, aka Bales, and friend of the pod Ray Ryman, aka Etheridge Farm Vembas. Second place.
Oh, that's why he's chatted.
That's why he appeared in the Discord. Yeah.
I should have known something was fishy.
Yeah, something was up.
The exposure is exposed now.
Yeah, second place Aditya Mane, aka Chupacabras. Third place Dylan Luke, aka Vardy's Brexit 11. 2 game weeks left. Good luck. And then the public league leader Matt Allen, aka Jebison Airplane, aka FPL Wario. Overall 204. Good job.
What do you make of it? I mean, not to put Ryman on blast. I mean, I guess I am sort of in so doing, but
go for
those few people. Well, I guess it's a lot of people. They only come in and hang out with their friends when their dick is up.
Yeah.
Instead of just hanging out regardless of the penis status.
Yeah.
What is that? What do you make of that?
I mean, I want to give them a little bit of the benefit of the doubt and be like, they're just gonna be miserable fucks if they're chatting when they're upset or tilted or whatever, so they're just sparing us. What if they feel that they're not contributing when they're in a bad mood, then sure, don't be in the chat room. That's going to piss you off even further or whatever.
But we're not really friends then. We're just props for their ego boost.
It doesn't feel right. It feels scandalous and dirty.
Scandalous.
Yeah. What am I, a cheap whore? I'm only there for your quick fix. I mean, yes. The answer is yes. Yeah.
We're treated like one, I suppose.
Yeah. Throw me to the curb. Come on.
I mean, look, as long as you don't delete, you could do whatever the fuck you want. I love you, but just saying.
Yeah, exactly. If the Discord fits, you must have quit. All right, let's talk about Ollie. Aforementioned Ollie. We got a bunch of questions about him. First one is just, well, dude, I'm interested. He said, Ollie triple cap against Spurs. Is this
triple cap?
He has his triple cap left. There's not that many contenders. There's 2 weeks left.
What are we doing here in this fucking world?
I know, but
there's triple cap.
There's no one else this week, I don't think, that's triple capable, unless we disagree.
Let me see. What do we got here? Leicester play Bournemouth next week.
Yeah, it might be maybe next week. Saka, I think you could argue.
Arsenal play Southampton.
Yeah.
Ollie? Oh my God. I mean, if anything, I don't even want to answer that question. You got to just fucking chip earlier. Like, what
Well,
are we
that's
doing?
for sure. Like,
Fucking head.
clearly you made a mistake. I mean, I don't know. People who triple cap Marm in the double are like, I wish I fucking had my triple cap left, but like, it's still worth it in a double. Just minutes played is almost an assist worth of points that you just get for free automatically. So, it's still right. But yeah, I mean, if I was sitting on triple cap, assuming he has no other chips left, I think, use it on Ollie this week.
Friday, weird kickoff time.
It would be Ollie this week or Saka next week, I think. And I don't think there's many other contenders, honestly. Do you see anyone else that I'm missing?
Just trying to.
I mean, one triple cap left.
I just don't think Ollie is a very good option for something like that because he just has such a low ceiling. It feels like the team just doesn't really create a ton of chances, and they're kind of injured. And Spurs are going to be playing their first strength team again. I would anticipate.
I don't know about that.
What do you think? They're going to sit again because they need to get rhythm for the final, don't they?
The finals on Wednesday. The game's on Friday. So I think he'll do, at most, I think he'll do the 45-minute thing again, like Victor for 45, Amara for 45. Like,
yeah. I mean, they're not going to be spending any minutes preparing for this game in terms of like game planning.
And they're going to be absolutely awful. I mean, we just saw what
they are.
They are who they are. They are who it's like they were at 17 in the table or whatever reason.
I just feel like you could
still out Southampton. Is that better? In the 38?
I mean, probably not. I just feel like you want to probably, like, I kind of like Isak last week a little bit more, maybe.
Who do they have again?
Home Everton.
I'm interested. The difference between Isak and Ollie this second is Isak is playing so badly lately.
That's true.
He's been absolutely awful. I'm not saying don't do it, but that is like weighing in my head a little bit where, Ollie had that great finish, 9-pointer, feels good. I don't know. It'd be between Ollie, Saka next week or Isak next week. I don't think I would consider Mo, Palmer, obviously no one on City. There's just, that's like your list. There's no one else to even consider, I don't think. Unless I'm like badly missing someone.
You could throw a diddle, maybe a Bumo this week.
Bumo this week, yeah.
This is their last home game. That game should be just a stupid joke game.
How about this? Vardy this week.
No, come on.
Easy, Vardy. Last ever game at home. Ipswich.
Stop it.
But anyway, yeah, I think it's very viable. The other Ollie questions. So Parma said, is Cunha to Watkins a no-brainer? X50, who would you sell for Ollie, Cunha or Isak? Does your answer change if we're chasing in our mini league? And then Jokin said, follow-up, if Haaland's your only route to Ollie, would you yeet him straight back out?
Yes, I would definitely.
That is the easiest question of all of them, right?
Yeah, that's the easiest one. That's why I think we'll answer that one first. Yes, you should definitely get rid of Haaland 100%.
He's not starting Gameweek 37.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Ollie's, I'm glad I stuck by him.
Yeah.
It's still just, they have meaningful games and he's on pens with Tielemans out. We expect. I mean, whether or not they win one is obviously another question for another day, but yeah, he's certainly better than Cunha. I mean, Wolves, what do they ever do? We have no idea what they're ever going to do. They can throw up what they just did against Brighton. I mean, they basically didn't do anything the whole game.
Cunha had some moments. Yeah, Cunha was like behind all of their few moments of good stuff.
Yeah.
As he usually is. But then, yellow card and subbed off before 60. Yeah. So fuck me.
Yeah, I mean, if the fixture isn't incredible, you just don't know what you're going to get with Cunha or any Wolves player, basically, is how I've been kind of seeing them.
And that's where I come in and say, I think the fixture's incredible. They played Powersley Tuesday after the cup final on Saturday. I mean, I would not make that transfer, even though in a vacuum, I think Ollie's clearly better. Like, obviously better. I didn't mention Cunha for a triple cap or anything. But I just don't know if that's like a very productive transfer with Wolves home Brentford in the next week, 8:38.
I think one big factor though is you're probably capping Ollie this week.
Yeah,
like he's the best. Yeah, he's the best captain option, and I still feel
stuff to play for. He'll play 90, whereas Cunha could get subbed off before 60.
Yeah, as he just did, and yeah, I mean it's also looking at after we win the FA Cup, our B team is like basically just as good as Wolves. I mean, it's not like a million miles away.
I don't know if I agree with that,
dude. We're gonna get Chilwell action. We'll get. Fucking Chilwell's amazing. We'll get Devenian. We'll get
Deveni, Necktie.
Yeah, we'll bet Hughes and Lerma will be pivot. Kamada, maybe we'll Kamada. It's great. It'll be fine.
Okay,
it's fine.
I guess it's fine.
It's great.
Yeah, you know what? After talking it out more, I think it probably is a fine transfer. For me, it's mostly because of the minutes. Like you just think there's a chance Cunha plays like 60 and 60. And we know basically for fact Ollie's 90 and
180.
He has an extra game.
Yep.
He plays 60 more minutes probably on average, and that's basically an extra start. So, yeah, it probably is a fucking easy move.
I think it's mostly for cap. That's the biggest factor for me.
Yeah,
I like Ollie the best captain.
What about Cunha versus Isak? That was X50's question.
I would still
for Ollie.
No, I would hold Isak over Cunha for sure. I know that he's been playing badly. We've been talking about that every podcast, but
and he's away Arsenal
month or so. Yeah, away Arsenal's not great, but the home Everton fixture is great, and they again have something to play for. So I know he's playing 180, and they could win a pen at any moment. I believe like the team is better. Wolves could score 0 goals the next 2 games, and I would be like, oh yeah, they're Wolves, they're safe, and they suck. I mean, I just feel
scared for that home Brentford, which in my mind, I'm like, oh, cool. That's a, exploitable open 3-3.
He doesn't
I'm
start.
so scared he doesn't start. Yeah.
Yeah, he just doesn't.
The number one game I want him for, he doesn't start. Yep.
Yeah. And all of that's on the table. So
yep.
I would just stick with Isak.
Yeah, I think you're probably right. Minutes, you got to be on the pitch. Score points, bottom line.
Yeah, especially when it's the last couple of weeks of the season, you never know what kind of games are going to get thrown up there. Like, yeah, we look at this at Arsenal, but like Rice is fucked. Like they're sort of like, oh,
that was out of nowhere. Yeah,
yeah, they're just like, we got a point over here. Everyone's dropping points. It's not like it's Arsenal game week 7 away.
No,
where it's so they could score a few goals against Arsenal. I'd be like, they're trying to win, and Arsenal just don't give a shit. They're
also won in their last 3 or 4 games against Arsenal.
Yeah, they beat Arsenal every week. So yeah,
about that first half. I mean, I watched it back after the fact. I mean, that first half, Liverpool absolutely
blown away.
Fisted them. It could have been 3-0, 4-0 even.
Yeah. Yeah, they just got completely blown away.
So I don't know. Yeah, there's something there too. Marino, red card. Yeah. That's all fair. A couple Palmer questions. Mike said, how do you rate Palmer's prospect versus Man U, considering Endot's taking the rest of the season off? And then Endot too. And then Watkins versus Palmer for the next 2. So we both obviously prefer Watkins there. I feel.
Yeah. Well, you're still the Palmer hodler. So how are you feeling over there with Palmer?
I mean, I feel really great considering these last 2 fixtures. Honestly, I do. Last week, I always knew that was a brutal game. Like, we all expected Newcastle to win, and they kind of manhandled them, honestly. But, home Manchester United, a few days before the final. Away NFO has turned into one of the 5 best fixtures you could possibly have at this point.
I don't know about that.
Completely falling apart.
Yeah, that game is going to be
huge. I feel like I need it. Yeah, I need to postpone what I think of that match until we see the results from this dude, because it may matter a lot, it may not matter that much, whatever. But home Manchester United for Palmer, I feel great about. I mean, that's just a fucking cookie cutter, easiest job ever for them to just. They do nothing, Chelsea. Enzo ball is do nothing. It's pass in the semicircle and either take a shot for block distance or cross. That's all they do. So. It takes someone being actively horrible, like
Manchester United,
to get great chances, and I think they are that. Yeah,
I don't know about that. Like, you are saying the fixture's great, and then you just go on a soliloquy, little mini rant about how Chelsea do nothing. Yeah. He has, again, with no Endot, he has been famously starved.
Yeah,
you know
and
what I mean?
that's huge.
It's a big miss. And
and
he
Bill
looked,
and Cuckoo, right? Or am I wrong? I think they're both out.
yeah,
So it's not even like a simple. It's gonna be fucking like Neto at striker again.
Yeah.
Something like that.
yeah, or they play the other Mark Guiu or whatever. He's hurt too.
Gooey, whatever.
Gooey, whatever.
Yeah.
Wait, no, not him. Who is the guy that came in and scored a goal? Was it him? That was so long ago.
That was a
not
long
him.
time ago.
No, George. That's what I'm thinking of.
Oh,
George.
Tyreek. Yeah.
He could throw. I mean, George played 10 minutes in the last 2 months. Either way, what the fuck are we talking about? Like, this is a bad team who are playing badly
100%.
and are stumbling and bumbling. So I'm like, I don't think you can feel great with Palmer at any juncture. Like, he's been bad for so long, and he just got a penalty in stoppage time against Liverpool. Look, yes, on pens is nice. I mean, this is still a player who has
not fair. He was unbelievable, man of the match, best player on the pitch in that game. His points were just the pen, but his teammates, it required his teammates missing like 3 or 4 heel chances and hitting the post, I think, twice for that to happen. So, like, you know,
and the teammates are famously worse now than they were in that game.
Yeah.
He also is just a few months of doing nothing, and I just, you know,
I still feel great about it. I think both things can be true, right? Like, they do nothing. Enzo's a joke. He should be fired yesterday. And Manchester United are the 16th best team in the league-ish. I mean, they're on the level of, like, aforementioned Spurs. And they just got beat 2-0 by West Ham. Let me put it this way. West Ham did the double on Manchester United this year. West Ham, who are like the closest thing to the relegation teams.
I know.
You know, they're just so bad. They're such a fucking joke and a mess, and all they care about is the Europa final. I just think, you know, it's just the dream fixture, really. So
yeah,
I still feel good this week, but yeah, 38 is up in the air. I don't know.
He's a bad pick.
I think
is he your worst
this week?
Yeah, I mean, is he your worst pick? I would be surprised to see a team that you would show me and be like, this is the obvious transfer out.
For sure. Well, especially because City and Palace, they're like the wild cards this week where it's like, oh, well, none of their guys are startable, really.
Yeah, we'll have to see what it feels like at the end of the weekend. Because, I mean, for my team, I'm looking at, I have Ruben and Gvard I'm leaning fairly heavily on. I mean, they could both start. Because they're center backs.
Yeah.
But yeah, I have Kevin and Sar, and I'm like, I probably need to transfer one of them out, and then bench the other one, and I'll probably be okay there.
Yeah, I'm planning on benching Sar. I think that's fine. Yeah.
I mean, I'll probably just get rid of Kevin.
Yeah,
that'll be my transfer for whoever I like the most.
Yeah,
in midfield. But yeah,
I think so. Yeah,
Palmer. Yeah, we're going to have a big postmortem on Palmer, I think.
Big Palmer, and it's going to be really interesting going in next year. I mean, they need to sack this guy.
They will.
They 100% will. I mean, there were a bunch of articles I read of this was like the same exact trajectory last year with Leicester, and they just got worse throughout the season, created less and less chances as their like possession and meaningless passes in the middle third go up, and they just get worse and worse and worse. And just
it's like as they integrated his ideas more firmly, they got worse.
Literally, as they understand his system more and play the way he wants, they get way worse.
That's good.
Is that a good sign or a bad sign? Yeah, it's like, Jesus.
Am I good at my job?
Yeah, fucking hell. Jokin has a question very relevant to me because I'm free hitting in 38. So any transfer for me is a 1 week punt. He said, who are the best 1 week punts for Gameweek 37?
Well, very relevant to you, so I expect you have the good answers on this one.
Well, for me, I'm the transfer that I've toyed with, I'm only on one free, was Isak to Ollie and cap Ollie.
Yeah.
And for me, that's the best thing you can do is bring in someone that you're capping, who you expect, the biggest haul.
That's the only way you can afford him with a single move.
Yeah, the other 1 week punt that we literally just mentioned is, I think, Palmer. Vardy, Palmer. Still think all the Brentford guys are good. I mean, Fulham are fucking... Talk about...
Fulham are a joke. Yeah.
I mean...
Joke.
Fiery.
They're an absolute joke right now.
Yeah, they've completely given up. I wonder... Yeah, and I mean, like, listen, Bournemouth and Wolves against rotated B teams of Palace and City. I mean, maybe you can find a punt there, but realistically, how many fucking punts are you taking in 1 week? I think it's like one or two or size.
Yeah. Well, how many transfers you got?
And for all we know, Jokin has 5 frees, and he's like, I can 5.
I'm loaded up.
I doubt it. I doubt it somehow.
I mean, Villa feels like the team I want the most shares of if I could get it. It's just who do you get? The separate question.
They do play the first game.
Rodgers. Oh my God. Yeah.
It's always about the leaks.
Yeah. I mean, Rodgers is an attractive one.
He's so good. You can maybe, but like if there's a leak, big if, I mean, you can maybe go for a Mullen or an Asensio if they're starting and not feel terrible about that.
Asensio is interesting.
They could score 4. Like,
yeah.
Like Asensio just scored 5. Yeah.
Yeah. Asensio is sort of interesting. It seems like Mullen's very out of favor in terms of the
He hasn't started in a very long time.
Yeah. I mean, he's just not even playing. He might just not know what he's supposed to do when the ball's on the other.
I think he's always good when he subs on, but that might be extent of his role. Yeah, he's just a fast guy who's up there or something.
But yeah, with Rash out, I mean, it makes Asensio's starting berth feel pretty secure.
Yeah, he started last 2. He hit the post against Bournemouth.
Yeah, I mean, Bailey's been nowhere near the pit. I mean, who could even play with these injuries, right? So yeah, Asensio, that might be my punt. I mean, I could see doing that.
And aforementioned, I forgot to mention him when you mentioned Ollie on pens. Asensio's on pens.
Oh, yeah.
But he never gets past, 70 minutes. So Ollie's on some percent of pens, just not 100% of them.
Yeah, that's a good point. But wait, didn't Asensio just miss all the pens, or was that?
Yes, but that was a while ago. That was game.
He missed 2, and he missed 2 in that game.
Yeah, is that good or bad?
I don't think he might not be on pens. I don't know.
He got a delightful double. I don't know.
I don't know.
Missing 2 in 1 game's got to be a rare achievement.
Oh yeah, I mean it's pretty hard to do.
Getting 2 in 1 game is tough. And both. Yeah. Hemdog said, Eze and Munoz, are they still holdable despite the cup festivities? Depends if you can bench them and get away with it or not, but I'd try and bench them this week.
I mean, Munoz has no backup. He probably is going to need to play Klein at center back. I mean, all Munoz does is run every day. He runs
machine. Yeah, he's an absolute machine.
So I kind of expect him to start. The thing with Munoz that's tricky, and I have obviously egg on my face. He just got a 11-point haul. Is the Wolves game is home, which is obviously a good on paper fixture, but it's after the cup final, and then the last game's at Liverpool. So, I mean, I didn't expect us to keep it clean against Tottenham. I thought they would, I thought they would at least do some attacking stuff. They usually score a goal, I feel like, but
yeah.
I mean, are we keeping it clean here the last 2 weeks? Like, I don't think we will.
I think so. Yeah.
And Munoz also could always just not play one of the games because of the final and that shit. So I think we want to try and hide.
It's the opposite of Munoz in terms of like fitness monstering, right? So I think there's like, sub 5% that he starts the game at 37 game 2 days after a final. He's not that guy.
I really just freed him into the wild. Like he's just been hauling ass ever since I sold him a couple years ago.
One of my postmortem notes is just all about him. I've owned him at 3 separate times this season, got no points anytime, and now he's just the best pick in the game and just hauling every week. So
who he thought he was supposed to be.
Yeah. Yep. They just got him early at 3 different times, and it was a nightmare every single time.
I mean, the nightmare began right away when he had to write a goal disallowed wrongfully in the first game of the season.
First game of the season, free kick.
That was a disaster. I will never forget that.
Yep.
Yeah.
God damn, he was so bad for so long.
Yeah.
But yeah, long story short, it depends on your bench, but they're both kind of bad picks right now.
Yeah, you just want to be able to hide them. But that's the thing, is hide them for what? And then Gameweek 38, it's Liverpool. It's like,
yeah, it's not a deal. Although the way Liverpool's playing, it's just no care in the world. Yeah.
And we do always play your team well.
Yeah, that could be another 2-2. I feel like every Liverpool game could be 2-2.
Yeah.
And they kind of have.
And Mo won't get a return. Yeah.
He got so robbed by Diaz. Just he keeps creating big chances and not getting assists, which I guess is payback for earlier in the season. When all of his created chances got finished.
Yeah,
but yeah, he's been like robbed of assists for like a month and a half now. He has 1 and deserves like 4.
Yep.
Cass said, if I can't get to Ollie without taking a hit, I already have 3 Villa players. Who are the other best forwards to own? Is Beto worth it as he has Southampton this week, or should I just take the hit and get Ollie?
I think the hit's worth it for the captaincy.
Beto.
I do think it's worth it.
Yeah, it's probably worth the hit. I mean, there's not 3 good picks on Villa, so
they must have 2 defender or goalie.
It must be
more
Annie, Ansa,
Rogers.
It has to be, right?
Yeah, I would imagine so. Which has been, the defense.
It's actually been very, very good to own those 3.
Yeah.
And they play Spurs and Man United. Maybe it's not good to break them up. I mean, they're still all 3 of those are still really good. For the last 2 games. Cap Rogers.
Go for it. I
don't know. I've seen worse. But Beto is not the answer that you're looking for. Beto is not the droids that you were looking for. I mean, that Leno non-save on the Beto shot to make it 3-1, I think that was the worst keeper blunder of the year, maybe. I watched it 50 times and I still don't know how he didn't save it. He just kind of fell over and it went through both of his hands and his face.
He's pre-gaming with beer every game, Leno. This German guy is just absolute. He's been nuts the last month.
Chug or whatever.
Yeah. He's been so bad the last month. Anytime I've caught Fulham, he's just. I mean, they haven't kept a clean sheet in fucking 2 months.
In 2 months, yeah.
It's crazy, and they just lose every game basically. I think Beto is. We've been on record at length talking about what we think of him as a quality of player, but I think it's a really tough fixture to read because Southampton are kind of fine. They're not that.
They're not that bad. They're not as bad as 20th with 12 points makes you think they are.
Yeah, and it's not just saying that because they, somehow finagled the 0-0, but they've been not that bad for a while, even though they still lose almost every game. Yeah. And their players are bad, but they're organized. They have a plan every game, and they aren't getting bent over as they used to. So
yeah, I mean, I don't even know since the maybe Liverpool game where they lost 3-1, but they were not that bad in that game. I feel like since then, maybe-ish, they've been not that bad, even though, like you said, they lose almost every game. The 2-1 in Wolves was close. The 1-1 in Palace was really competitive and close. They got destroyed by Spurs and Villa somehow. I don't know. But the 1-1 West Ham was even. Fulham game is even. And I mean, they're just not that bad.
Yeah,
and Everton
they could win.
Good.
Yeah, Everton could lose this game to Southampton and be like, oh yeah, that seems fine.
1-1 is
nail that.
Very nailed, and both teams are fine with that result, I think.
Yeah.
So. Although it is their final ever Goodison game. Maybe they'll be really up for it or something. But I don't know if that helps Beto or makes him more nervous and on his sitters again. I think he liked when there's no pressure and they can't get relegated. That's when he scored all his goals.
Yeah. So yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, he's not the answer, I don't think.
There will certainly be a lot of emotion in the stands that day, we put it that way.
Yeah, I'm curious who the other forwards on your team are because there's got to be a different forward you could get other than Beto, but send the team. Last question before a couple lifestyle questions. X50 said, going into 36, it felt like loading up on City versus Southampton and Brentford versus Ipswich was the logical move. They finished 0-0 and 1-0 respectively. Kev, Holland, Wissall all blank. Bumo didn't return to the levels we might have hoped. For those of us who went all in on the fixtures, is there anything to learn? Should we not let ourselves be swayed so much by what looks like a good fixture on paper and instead approach these games with a bit more caution? Or do we just get unlucky/fuck this time? Kind of postmortem but we could talk about it.
Yeah, I mean, this question comes up often, I think, in terms of from a micro or a macro lens. It depends on the eye of the beholder, I suppose. But from this specific, microcosm of events with the City game and the Brenham game, City have been not free-flowing and not creating a lot of chances for a long time.
All season, yeah.
I mean, you look at their last chunk of games. I mean, the last time they scored they scored 5 against us. That game was a fucking insane game. When we were
game, they were down 2-0. It should have been 3-0.
Yeah, then we were, in the middle of the during our pileup. But other than that, I mean, they basically haven't scored more than 2 goals a game for 3 months. Yeah. So, and we also have seen them struggle against buses. I guess I was just surprised at the level of competency of the Southampton bus and that they didn't take really any chances. I feel like they came out 4 times all game into committing anyone into a counterattack. It was just so...
Ruben Diaz was very angry about it in the post game.
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw that.
No, I didn't. What did he get into?
It's kind of embarrassing. He's just like, I don't think they want to play. Like, all they do is just sit and defend. And it's like, yeah, dude, they have 20 points.
They're the worst team ever. Like, why don't you just score a goal
against last year's champions? What are they going to do? Outplay you? Like,
yeah. Yeah, I mean, talk to your manager about picking 39-year-old geriatrics who can't run and pick a lock. It's, and then you blame.
Yeah, guess when they got better? When they brought on Savio and Doku. That's a lot about. And
Marm.
Well, yeah, hell.
He had their best chances. And the other aspect of that too is, I mean, not to pile on, actually, I absolutely want to pile on with Haaland. He has been so bad every single game that they have not been able to play in the counterattack all year. I mean, this has been a year-long problem.
Yep.
And
it's like a new problem that it seems like Pep has to address. Obviously, he's great. I'm not fucking taking any of those, shouts or whatever, but it's just like whatever was working the first 2 years with Haaland, where it's just chance, has no longer been working this season. And I don't really know why, but it's just something he has to figure out.
Yeah, I don't know if he has to pull him in deeper to let him run more, or teams are just setting at such a low block that, it's just something that he hasn't faced for a protracted amount of time. But he marks himself out of games just like no one's business. He just stands on center backs and just doesn't do anything for 90 minutes. I mean, we kept joking about it.
He had a shot.
I think he had one attempt.
It came really late. I'm checking right now.
Okay.
Literally, 92nd minute.
Yeah.
He had a header off target.
Yeah.
That was his only shot.
Yeah. I mean, how could he ever get a shot? I mean, he sucks at headers, even though he's tall. And when he's literally just standing next to a center back, do you know what center backs are good at? Heading. Like, he just doesn't get the ball. And, he has no idea what to do.
They had 2 center backs, and they don't have enough other good players on the pitch because he's playing all their bad players to do anything about that.
Yeah.
And Foden, why Foden should ever get a minute is fucking beyond me.
Yeah. So yeah, that's a huger problem that, he may or may not solve in the summer. But yeah, City have just been profligate for a while. So you still need to play the fixture. I mean, I'm glad, I did the move before the leaks because I was feeling that way of like, we're telling people, you can't sell Marm, they're playing Southampton. And I just was saying, I'm like, why? Like, why am I telling anyone this? Like, he and they have been really bad in attack, and their defense is the best defense in the league right now, as far as I'm concerned, in terms of having something to play for and the way that they've been suppressing
just
chances lately.
Down.
Yeah. So I just made that switch.
Stats for our pod. The amount of times we say, just hold him because he could score a hat trick. Like, that's kind of the vibe that we both had with Marm, right? You just have to hold him because Southampton, he could score a hat trick. What are the times? How many times does that player return? It's probably 4% of the time. It feels like it's always bad. I mean, there's a little negativity bias here. Like, you remember the bad ones more than you remember the good ones. But I don't know. It feels like just holding a bad player because on paper they have some sort of fixture, when it's a bad attack and it's a bad pick, it just doesn't seem to ever pay off.
Yeah, I'm proud of myself that I did that, because it was not I mean, obviously in the end everyone did it because of the leak, but it's not a place I usually get. Usually it is that former, what you're saying, right? Southampton.
I would
but I mean, what else happens when a player's been bad? Sometimes they get dropped.
Yep. Also that.
Yeah. So it's like,
and also Marm came on and hit the post and could have had a 9-pointer. Would have been. And if that happened, we would have been sitting here being like, I mean, Southampton, he's Marm. He scored a worldie. What are you going to do?
Yeah. It's tough. And then the Brentford one was easily the most shocking game of the weekend for me in terms of what I thought would happen and what actually happened.
Yeah.
I have no explanation whatsoever for it. Honestly, I don't. I mean, we said, that, or I think I said to you, I was like, all of the white players on Brenham look horrible.
All the NPCs.
All the NPCs, they were each individually just shocking, giving the ball away, missing passes. Like, Wissa and Boomer were doing their damnedest, but they were just so
a lot of bad results. But like, more than half their losses, I think, come in the games where they have majority possession. They just do not like to play that way, and it gave them problems because they had the counter opportunities, which was why it felt so frustrating, right? Because they were beat 3-on-2s on the break, and they would just fuck them up over and over again.
That's the thing is like I typically like if Ipswich were. They did have times where they were 2 deep banks and they were really parked, but it was few and far between. It wasn't like this is our shot. It wasn't like Southampton.
First half, I thought it was like the majority
a little
of
more.
the first half.
Yeah.
And then it opened up and they still just couldn't
That's the thing.
all the counters into chances.
Yeah, the game
was also very, very bad.
Yeah, he didn't play well. I mean, the game was there to be won, and they just kept not doing the thing repeatedly.
Yeah.
I mean, Bumo, he didn't do fucking anything really all game, I suppose.
Yeah.
He just was giving the ball away and just staying in the elbow.
He completed only 2/3 of his passes, and only one of them led to a shot. And for him, it's just like unacceptable. Like like we said, those are 3-on-2s, and it was like if he got the ball to Wissa or Shota or Damsgaard or whoever, they would have got a shot for sure, and he just couldn't get there. Or he was also taking bad shots. I thought there's some off angle, like right-footed, easiest save of Palmer's life shots, where it's like maybe he should have played in a teammate there. It was ridiculous.
They were just terrible.
But that was bad.
Team performance was terrible.
But ultimately, I don't think that you can look at the result of that game to answer the question and be like, I made a mistake by going there, right?
Yeah.
Shota gets the goal, Bumo gets the assist. So 2 of the 3 attackers get returns, and they cleaned. So like all of the defenders and the keeper also get returns. I mean, it was really just Wissa, who I think had like 5 shots and a bunch of half chances, who didn't return, and he easily could have on another day. I don't think you look at that and say like, what can we learn there? It's just like, that one's just like variance. So they could have just played a little better.
But it did get a return. He got a card.
He got a card. Yeah. For a bicycle kick where his off foot that isn't even the kicking one brushes Greaves' face.
Well, the most offensive thing about that card was that he was already mid-action when Greaves just stuck his dumb face in the path. Fucking stupid, huge face with no headband for some reason. He's discarding the headband. And it's just, how is this a card? It's just, you blow the whistle because he kicked him in the face and we need to make sure he's fine. That's enough. Like, is that not enough to do, ref? Like, I want my 2 points back is what I'm really saying.
Yeah, I'm in Greaves. I don't know what he's up to. That's how their family got the name.
Greaves, boots in their faces.
Yeah, armor for the boots in the faces.
He's been on my team. When you always pull the numbers of our teams, I'm sure Greaves is going to be in my team.
32 out of 38 game weeks or something like that. Yeah,
and he's probably will have gotten me like 4 points in 12 starts or something.
I need to regularly check this because it brings me so much joy. What's his point total now?
35 points, 36 game weeks, almost a point per game week.
23 starts, 35 points. He's
not quite there.
God damn. Insane. All right, let's do some lifestyle questions, and then I think we'll get out of here. So Ben G said, Walsh, do you think you're going to coach Damo's youth sports team? So I got lucky this year. My schedule linked up with my 6-year-old's baseball schedule, so I'm coaching his team. It's great.
Yeah, it's so funny. I was actually at my in-laws for Mother's Day yesterday, and my cousin was my wife's cousin was talking. We were talking about this very thing.
Okay.
I have absolutely no desire or interest to coach any of his teams. Yeah.
Wow, I'm shocked.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, to me, he does not take direction from anyone well, least of all his parents. So there's part of that going. I also just I want to enjoy being able to watch him. Like, if I'm coaching, I'm not getting that experience.
That's also fair.
And I'm going to be able to play with him on the side independently from the team sport aspect, and talk to him about whatever it is, whatever sport we're doing, whether it's basketball or soccer or baseball or whatever. And I can teach him things that way. But when it comes to doing it with all, and then, you have to deal with all the other kids who are fucking nightmares.
I think you're spot on there.
Yeah.
That's a good job. Good evaluation by you. I was also, Mother's Day with family, and I was at my nephew Jack's doubleheader soccer game. And shout out to Gio on the other team, whose dad was the coach, crying the whole fucking game. His dad's like, no, give the other kid a chance. And he's crying to his dad, I don't want to give him the chance. Why can't I kick it? And then he they make the kids like sub periodically to get other kids.
Why don't you love you? You're making me come out.
Yeah, you fucking tantrum, pause the game, nightmare. Yeah, fuck that. Meanwhile, me, Sharon, my brother, my family, my parents had the best time just watching Jack absolutely shit on everyone and just be the best thing in the world.
Yeah. So, I mean, I could imagine, when he's a little older, when he's, 10 or something, if he's like, Dad, I really want you, if he, stops being a fucking piece of shit and he's like more chill, then he's like, Dad, I really want you to coach. I'd be like, yeah, no, no doubt I'll do that.
Yeah.
In the near term, no. 0%.
Coaching 6-year-olds.
Yeah, but he's 5.
At
Jack
least
6, right?
5. Yeah, Jack 6. 50% of the kids, maybe more, are not even running, have no idea how to kick a ball, have no interest, and no idea what's going on. So those guys are just saying like, all right, Mason, good stuff, Mason. And then there's 2 good players per team. That's how they divvy it all up. So Jack and Luca are just destroying everyone. Jack, like long balls, Luca's faster than everyone, goal. I think in the final game against the aforementioned Gio's team, Jack had the first 3 assists, Luca hat trick before even halftime. It was a joke. Yeah. But it's like you're yelling at these kids who don't even want to hear from you. They want nothing to do with you. They don't even want to be there. They want to be picking flowers from the grass that they're standing on. And then the other kids are just like good and twice as good as everyone else. It's so silly. But yeah, Jack is fucking legit. I'm so psyched.
Yeah, that's good to hear.
Yeah. Damo, does he have a preference yet on sport, or is he just in the early stages of, no?
He hasn't had a ton of participatory exposure to team sports yet. I think he's just gonna like whatever he does as long as he can.
I think so. Yeah, that
doesn't really matter.
The majority. Yeah.
And I mean, if he gets to hit things and kick things, like those are his 2 favorite things to do anyway. So he'll probably be all about it.
Walt shows us his shins and it's just all black and blue. He's like, I don't want to coach this kid.
Yeah, he's going to be getting fouled out of every game. He's like, I only got 5 fouls. Like, well, that was good for half.
I mean, dude, that is an interesting kid study thing too, is like all the good kids are good basically just because they're aggressive. Yeah. Like that's all it takes to be like a million times better than everyone else. Because the other kids are like, don't want confrontation or scared or like whatever. I don't care. And the good kids are just like pressing, like double teaming and stealing the ball. It's just like, it's so funny.
Yeah. Damo doesn't care, but it's about you. So he'll just fuck you.
Yeah.
Like, fuck you, I don't care. And it's not killing you.
He's going to be really good. Based on my
I think,
scouting.
Yeah. My gut is that the sport he's going to be best at is football. And that's going to be a war between my wife and I. We'll have to
because you'll let him play and she doesn't want to let him play.
Yeah, I think that's
it's dangerous.
It's going to go. We'll
Pop Warner football. We'll see how it goes.
I mean, we're 10 years away from that, but
yeah. All right.
Flag is huge. It wasn't when we were.
Really?
Flag is huge out here. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah, they start young and they play flag.
Okay. And then Brian with the other lifestyle question. He said this is a U.S. lifestyle question.
We live in the U.S., so
we live in the U.S. If your team is out of the playoffs, do you check out or pay attention to the league? NBA, NFL, NHL, MLB, all the American sports.
Yeah.
For me, there's 2 answers. For baseball, I could not care less once the Mets are out of it. And for football, I watch every playoff game. Jets are in it, Jets are out of it. Doesn't matter.
Yeah. Well, the Jets are never in it, so
that's not fair. When we were growing up, they were making
15 years.
Yeah, but I have a lot of life experience as an adult of them in the playoffs. I mean, like from high school through in college, they were, every other year or conference championship back to back, and even those years when they didn't make it in between, I'd still watch like the rest years and stuff. But I think part of it is it's just one game, right? It's a fucking conference champs. Is I watch 2 NFL games and I'm not watching 14 baseball games to watch that.
Yeah. I mean, I think I'm a much bigger baseball fan than you are comparatively. Like I watch a lot of baseball and I do watch a lot of playoff baseball when the Mets are out.
Yeah. I don't watch any non-Mets baseball ever.
Yeah. I mean, I always keep an eye on everything because of fantasy with baseball.
Oh, right.
I mean, I don't sit down and put on like Reds, Giants or something. I mean, I don't do that. But yeah, I mean, I love watching.
You just watch
baseball.
A game here and there in the playoffs kind of thing?
Well, when it's playoffs, I'll just have it on. Like
Use
no
that,
matter,
right.
yeah, it's just on. A lot of it's during the day. You know, I have a break or something. I'll throw it on no matter what game's on. But
Yeah.
hockey, very much no. I mean, I'll maybe check box scores, but
Yeah.
if the Rangers are out, it's unless if there's something really compelling or there's a storyline that's interesting. And then
I mean, now I don't watch
basketball at all.
Well, neither of us watch basketball. But now
Yeah.
I don't watch hockey at all, or even Rangers at all. But I think like in my height of Rangers, I'd be a little bit more into watching the other playoff games than I would baseball.
Yeah,
I think it's just more,
you enjoy watching.
chaotic. Yeah, it's just more like playoff hockey is so fun to watch, and not in like a stressful way, and just like an insane way.
Yeah, I mean there are definitely times like I see it's like if there's a clinching game or it's overtime and I'll notice it and like I'll throw it on or something.
Yeah.
And then
When
football.
we were in Chicago, right? We just went to a bar and watched, hockey NHL finals, because it's like, yeah, whatever, like
It's all.
going on. But yeah, in day to day life, I don't really do that. It's a part of this is also a conversation about like negotiations with your family and your girlfriend and whatever, where it's like, I'm not gonna like push this, fucking Senators Predators game. Like, I really need to fucking watch this.
Well, really, Sammy rent free in your head over.
Yeah. So it's like, you got to pick your battles, and that's not one I'm willing to die on.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But I also definitely don't watch all the playoff games for NFL. Like wild card round, I sometimes just don't even watch a second of the wild card game.
I watch every single one.
Yeah. I mean, if they have to be interested. So I know there's few. Yeah, but I mean, I have to at least be interested. I mean, you bet on all the games, so
that's true.
So like, I mean, there has to be a reason for me to watch. Like before the conference championship round, it's like I might not watch at all.
Oh, okay, interesting. Yeah. No, I watch every single one every year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the ones I'm more inclined to watch are
I mean, it's like the late stage Champions League. It's not even a question. You got to watch. It's like the best. Like even when there's no English teams in it, like I'm all in on watching.
Yeah, no, that's for sure.
And of course, like World Cup and stuff too.
Yeah. I think there is also one other aspect where it's like, especially with baseball, is if the Braves or the Phillies are in the playoffs, I watch because I want them to lose so badly.
You hate watch.
Yeah, like I will hate watch until they get eliminated, and I will be so happy when they get eliminated. So that's always, every year, there's at least some interest, whether the Nets make it or not, because a team from the NL East does make the playoffs every year.
Yes.
Unless they change the rules in the future, but as of my lifetime,
that's nice. I like.
And that's a big one. Same with football. Like if the Eagles are playing or the Cowboys are playing, I will watch because I will want them to lose so badly.
There we go.
Yeah,
I like that. We got an anus slap. I don't know what Shives is doing here. What the hell? We got an anus slap in May. It's very rare, but we appreciate you. And
appreciate it. Thank you.
Get in there, yes, baby. Good to have you. And any last words?
Well, no dust. We made it longer than 20 minutes, so we're back.
We're flying.
We're so back. I'll see you tomorrow.
So back. See you tomorrow. Check us out at fmlville.com. Follow us on Twitter at fmlville. Sports page.com/subscribe, rate, review.